Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans, you are not going to believe what went down at UFC 313. If you thought you've seen it all inside the octagon, Mairon Santos just shocked the entire MMA world, and not because of what happened in the fight, but because of what he said after. So sit back, because what I'm about to break down is something you cannot miss. And if you're like me, someone who breathes this sport, lives for the real fight game, and wants to be part of an exclusive fight community that's always first to know what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. You're not going to want to miss these deep dives. Alright, let's dive in. So UFC 313, everyone was hyped. The build-up was real. People wanted to see Mairon Santos, this rising force, prove himself on a massive stage. And when that cage door shut, man, we thought we were about to witness something epic. And to be fair, we did. But what happened next is what's got everyone talking. Now, before we get to Mairon's shocking admission, let me quickly set the stage here. Going into this fight, Mairon Santos was undefeated, confident, and let me tell you, the guy looked sharp in his last few performances. His movement, his striking, that slick ground game, everything was pointing toward another dominant victory. But his opponent? Oh man, his opponent was ready for war. From the first round, you could see this wasn't going to be an easy night for Santos. The pressure was on. Every exchange was tight, calculated. You could almost feel the tension through the screen. First round, Mairon comes out with that signature calmness, using his footwork, measuring distance. But right away, his opponent wasn't playing that game. He was aggressive. He pushed Mairon back, landed some clean shots that definitely caught Mairon's attention. Second round, you could see Mairon trying to adjust, but something was off. The guy who usually controls the pace, he was being forced to react. And in MMA, when you're reacting, you're losing. Period. Now, I know some of you watching might say, but he landed shots too. Sure, but it wasn't the same Mairon Santos we've seen before. Now here's where things really get wild. End of 3 rounds. Judges' scorecards are in. And boom, Mairon Santos wins by decision. Crowd's kind of stunned. Half cheering, half confused. Even some of the commentators were like, really? And guys, here's where Mairon did something you almost never see in the UFC. He goes on the mic, in front of the world, and admits he lost the fight. Let that sink in. The judges hand him a win, and instead of taking that W, smiling, and walking out, he tells everyone that his opponent won. I mean, when was the last time you saw that? Seriously, fighters are always told to keep that fighter mindset. Always believe you won. Always show confidence. But here's Mairon, standing there, humble, honest, and real, saying, I didn't do enough. He beat me. Guys, that's respect. That's class. But also, it raises some serious questions. First of all, what does that say about the judging in this sport? How do 3 professional judges score a fight one way, but even the winner of the fight says, nope, I lost? And listen, I'm not here to bash judges all day long, but this isn't the first time we've seen something like this, right? We've had crazy split decisions, controversial calls, and fights that leave fans furious. But when a fighter themselves says they didn't win, man, that's a whole new level. But let's dive deeper. Why would Mairon say that? Was it just humility? Was it a calculated PR move? Or, and hear me out, did he just have so much respect for his opponent that he couldn't take a win he felt he didn't earn? Honestly, I think it's a mix. Mairon Santos, for those who don't know, has always been about honor and martial arts values. This is a guy who fights because he loves the craft, not just for the fame or paycheck. So when he got that decision, I think something inside him, that warrior code, just couldn't accept it. But you know what? Fans respect that. You go on any MMA forum right now, social media, Reddit, and people are saying, Mairon just earned a lifetime fan. Because who does that in this game? It takes guts to stand there and admit that. And if you think about it, this is huge for the UFC too. Like Dana White, matchmakers, all those people, you know they're watching that like, damn, this kid is real. Because it's not just about fighting anymore, it's about character. And Mairon Santos showed the world what kind of man he is. But let me throw this out there. What does this mean for his future? First off, the rematch has to happen. I'm telling you right now, UFC fans are already buzzing about seeing these two run it back. And this time, you bet everyone's gonna watch with even more intensity. Second, did Mairon lose stock because of this? Honestly, no way. If anything, he gained massive respect. Think about it. In a sport where people trash talk, avoid fights, and play games to get title shots, Mairon Santos just showed he's built different. Now let's get real. If you're a fighter watching this, you probably think, man, would I have done that? Because, let's face it, a win is a win, right? You move up rankings, get better fights, better paydays. But for Mairon, honor was more important than an extra number in the win column. And that's a message to everyone, fans, fighters, promoters. And listen, this is why we love MMA. It's not just about punching and kicking. It's about what's in a fighter's heart. And Mairon Santos? Last night, he showed us that heart. Now, as for his opponent, massive respect to him too. He came out, fought like a warrior, and now has fans rallying behind him too. Because let's be honest, even if his hand wasn't raised, he won in the eyes of the people. And for all of us watching. This is why you don't leave a fight in the hands of the judges. Because when even the winner disagrees with them, something's broken. So here's what I want to ask you. Do you think Mairon Santos won that fight? Or do you side with him, thinking his opponent deserved it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because I'm telling you, this is going to be a hot topic for weeks to come. And before I wrap this up, if you're loving this breakdown, if you love real talk about MMA, no sugarcoating, no fake hype, make sure to subscribe. This channel is where real fight fans come to break down what's actually happening in the fight game. You're not just watching videos, you're joining a fight family that gets it. So, to all my fight fam out there, Mairon Santos may have gotten the W on paper, but he won something way bigger, respect. And we'll be here covering every update, when the rematch is announced, when Dana White speaks on it, when the fighters respond. You'll hear it here first. So hit that like button if you respect what Mairon did. Smash subscribe to stay locked in for more raw, unfiltered fight content. Alright guys, that's it from me, but I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay real, and as always, fight on. But you know what guys? There's one more thing I've got to say before we wrap this up, because this moment with Mairon Santos, it actually goes way deeper than just one fight. This right here, this is a moment for the sport. Think about it. How many times have we seen fighters robbed? How many times have fans left fights furious, calling out bad judging, saying, "What fight were the judges watching?" Right? It happens all the time. But this time, the fighter himself stood up and said, "Nah, I didn't deserve that." And that takes courage. And this could change the game, guys. Because now, if you're a fighter out there, you're going to be thinking twice. You're going to be thinking, man, Mairon Santos owned up. Do I have that kind of honor if I'm in that spot? And maybe, just maybe, judges will start feeling that heat too. Maybe they'll realize fans are watching, fighters are watching, the whole world is watching, and we expect better. Because let's be real, fighters are putting their lives, their health, their futures on the line every time they step in that cage. The least we can expect is for those fights to be judged right, fairly, without bias, without mistakes. So Mairon Santos, he didn't just speak for himself. He spoke for every fighter who's ever been on the wrong side of a bad decision. And that's powerful. And you know what I think, personally? I think Mairon just earned himself a way bigger following. Because fans love realness. Fans don't want fake bravado. They don't want fighters acting perfect all the time. They want real people, warriors who speak the truth. And that's what he gave us. So before you click away, ask yourself, do you want to be part of this movement? Because if you do, if you're tired of bad calls, if you want to support fighters like Mairon who stand up for what's right, join us here, subscribe right now, because that's what this fight community is about. We're not just watching. We're here to change the game by holding everyone accountable. Fighters, judges, everyone. Alright, fight fam. Stay sharp, stay loyal to the fight game, and remember, real warriors show up in and out of the cage. I'll catch you in the next breakdown. Peace.